Well, hello from Menlo Park in California's Bay Area and the offices of Khosla Ventures. Vinod, you're co-chair of our company's operations in India. You, more so than most people, understand the transition from IT to clean tech. Of course, India, as an IT powerhouse, is poised to become a clean tech powerhouse. What did you learn in your personal transition? What's the same? What's different?
Well, the most important thing to realize is there's two ways to predict the future. You can extrapolate the past, and that's what most of the pundits in energy are doing, saying we need more oil, this or that, we need more coal. The other way, in the Silicon Valley way, in the IT way, is to invent the future. What's common across those is not worrying about what is today, but imagining what things can be. And most of that is about inventing new stuff. Both IT and clean tech require innovation, and the basis of innovation is great science and technology and great technologists and engineers. And that's the key.
Now, unlike the world of networking, where a basic understanding of packet theory and the OSI 7-layer stack can get an investor dangerous in being able to invest in core routers versus edge routers versus network appliances, knowledge in biofuels, for instance, isn't directly leverageable to wastewater, say. What have you learned as you've tried to get smart across a wide variety of clean technologies?
What I have found is every area has its details. That themes are common. You look for great people. You look for a mix of new ideas, people who are naive about a new area like wastewater, and people who really understand it well. And once you put them together and have sort of good managed conflict between these various points of view, you get to the right answer. And that's true whether you're doing wastewater or biofuels or IT routers. In fact, Juniper is successful the same way. There were people who had no idea about routers mixed with some people who had come from Cisco. And so that nexus of knowledge of the space and brand new ideas and not knowing what can't be done is really the right thing, and all of it relies on great engineering talent. And India has plenty of engineering talent.
So those are the similarities. What about some of the differences between IT and clean tech that you've encountered?
Well, I find clean tech much more promising for the following simple reason. In IT, you had sort of a hard technical problem to solve. You were going to build a new router that could do X, Y, and Z, a fastest gizmo. And that was hard engineering, clever engineering. But after you built it, you had another problem. You had to sell it. In clean tech, the markets are really much simpler. If you can produce a biofuel cheaper than what's out there, or a biodiesel that's cheaper than diesel made from petroleum, you've got an infinite market. If you can produce a better efficiency light bulb, the answer is simple. So I find in clean tech, the market risk is lower often, not always, often it's lower than you find in IT. There's many a company that's produced a successful product and then failed in the marketplace because both the technology risk and the market risk is high. When you're a venture capitalist, when you're an innovator and an entrepreneur, you really want to know that if you get your product done, it'll sell. And that there, clean tech is more attractive than IT.
You've also spoken a lot about the market opportunities, the relative market sizes between IT and clean tech.
That is exactly right. You know, in the traditional IT area, and we still invest in IT and we still think it's promising. We still do silicon chips and we still do software and we still do internet and mobile and all that stuff. But in that world, $1 billion market is a good market. If you're in the market for engines, or you're in the market for light bulbs, or for jet fuel, or for diesel, or for gasoline, or petrol, you're talking about markets that are hundreds of billions of dollars. And you could be a $10 billion company and not even make a dent in the market. The thing to realize in the energy business is you can be a company the size of Exxon and not get into double-digit share of the marketplace, not get to 10%. And that's what's so attractive about clean tech markets, especially if you have a technology that revolutionizes that market area.
Vinod, tracking the number of investments and the amount of money you've put to work in this space has been described by at least one journalist as, quote, almost a full-time job. You've made investments in at least 40 companies, and while some investors concentrate on one narrow, focused area of clean technology, you've made bets across a wide spectrum of clean tech. Why?
Well, one, we got started before anybody else did. I started looking at this seriously in the year 2000 when I thought the telecom thing would end. In fact, I made my first clean tech investment in 2001. That was when I was still at Kleiner Perkins. So I've been at it. And we think there's four large, broad segments. I call it the war on oil, the war on coal, new materials, and efficiency. Within each, there's separate areas, but each of these four areas is about a fourth or so of our investment of 45 companies or so far. So I find these four areas very large, very attractive, and most importantly, very amenable to technology breakthrough solutions. There's no point being in a market where a big technical breakthrough isn't possible because we've already sort of harvested the technology breakthroughs, so to speak. These are fertile grounds for great breakthroughs. We're producing cement with brand new technology which would be a fraction of the cost of regular cement and be carbon negative. We're doing new kinds of glass. We're doing water desalination. We're doing new kinds of engines. We have 3 startups in different types of engine efficiencies. We have 3 startups in lighting, outdoor lighting, indoor lighting, specialty lighting, and lasers. So almost any area you look, there's opportunity, and often it's amenable to big technology breakthroughs because traditionally they haven't been mined very well. Not many people have done research. It's amazing how little research goes on in energy or efficiency. Nobody's reinvented the air conditioner in 50 years, or the refrigerator, or the standard internal combustion engine. The improvements have been marginal. It's time for massive change.
You've called yourself a pragmentalist. What do you mean by that?
I sort of call myself a pragmentalist, not an environmentalist. And I have a simple rule. Every technology we invest in, be on trajectory over 5 or 7 years to be cheaper than their fossil competitor. And if that's the case, clean tech will be everywhere. It'll be adapted because it's the most economic solution. And I think we are well within reach of replacing oil with something that's cheaper, of replacing coal-based power with something that's cheaper, and it'll happen to be greener. And that's what we should strive for. So I'm optimistic.
Vinod, we've come to the end of the time we've got for today, but I want to thank you, and I want to thank you for your support of the Cleantech Group in our work to accelerate clean technology in India.
Thank you.